I've never seen something look so beautiful.
Hey guys, Good Marks Smith here, and I hope you all watched part 1 of this series. I really encourage you to do that before you watch part 2 if you haven't. We were discussing different ways in order to figure out whether or not this piece is real silver, and we're still doing that, but now I'm going to try something called the specific gravity test, or relative density of silver. So, stick around please. So, also, you can check to see whether or not you're getting any pushback from the metal. Like I said before, silver is a softer metal than other metals. So, if you have maybe, let's take a piece of actual sterling here. Here's an actual sterling teapot. It's got British hallmarks right here that indicate sterling silver. Now, if I were to push it in the metal in with your thumb as hard as you could, you probably could dent the metal in. And then 800 silver, you can still do it. I got some 800 silver too. This is a 800 silver piece. Here's the marking right there. But anyway, again, you could probably push the metal in with your thumb, but it's going to be harder to do than it would be if it were pure silver or sterling silver. The more base metal they cut into the metal alloy, the harder it gets. And I can do it almost, but it's kind of like it just gives away a little bit more, and yeah, definitely could create dents if you wanted to. It kind of does. I feel like I could dent it if I wanted to. The metal gives away a little bit, so it's kind of interesting. Now, I'll just get a piece of plate just to feel the difference. This is an F.B. Rogers teapot. Definitely no give whatsoever. You could smack this with a hammer and you'll be able to dent it, but with your hand, good luck. Maybe you could get the smallest of dimple if you really tried. Okay guys, so this shouldn't have to be explained expressly, but this is not an endorsement from me to start denting antique silver. Number one, I like to use this method if denting pieces, if I'm just going to scrap them anyway. I don't care whether or not the piece is in good condition because it's going to be melted down. Number two, it's a very, very delicate touch and go process where if you get any kind of feel for the metal, just get a very baseline touch for how it reacts to your thumb. Back off. You're not trying to smash the silver in. That's not the point, and I don't want you guys to think that's what I'm telling you to do. Feel the piece, feel how it kind of feels under your thumb, how much pressure it's pushing back on you, and back off. Yeah. We're not trying to dent our silver. Unless you don't care if you dent your silver. If you do care about if you dent your silver and you put too much pressure on the piece, don't cry to me. Because you being dumb. Okay guys, before we do this, before we do specific gravity on this piece, I would like to talk about acid really quickly. And acid is a very reliable method of testing whether something is silver. And I have an acid kit and I know how to use it, but today I'm not going to use it because I don't really want to damage my piece very much. In order to do acid, you have to do a very deep engraving, you have to do a very deep cut into your metal, because otherwise you're just going to hit silver, because you're not going to go deep enough into the piece. You got to scratch deep enough to go through the plating, and we'll see whether or not you can test the base metal with the acid. Or if you don't cut deep enough, you're just going to have an awkward looking groove, and you're going to have a false positive because you think you have silver, where in reality you just didn't go deep enough. So I don't really want to damage my piece at this point, so we're not going to use acid. Now, in order to do the specific gravity test, we're going to take the weight of the piece, and at this point it's 374 grams. 374 grams. Now I'm going to figure out, I'll just look it up, but we're going to figure out what the specific gravity of sterling silver is, because that's what I think I'm most likely looking at. We'll take this piece, we're going to hang it from this little piece of string I have, and we're going to dunk it in the water. That should be good enough, I think. Re-zero it now, let it hang. The idea of this method is that you have to completely submerge the piece, but you also have to have it floating in the water without it touching the bottom or the sides of the container, and you'll get a nice number. At least that's what the internet told me. Okay, I think I got it. See, this was quite difficult to do this, because you have to completely have the water, the piece submerged in the water, but you also can't allow it to touch the sides of the container. You also have to make sure that there's no trapped air. Just breathing seems to be enough to fluctuate the weight by like 2 grams or 4 grams up or down. Yeah, that's what makes this so difficult, is because I kept getting air trapped in. This is difficult to get the reading to stabilize, but it's showing around 35 grams. If we can claim 36 grams of weight that I've gotten from the specific gravity test. Remember, guys, we took 374 grams as the weight of this piece. 376 divided by 36, it's about 10.4. That's well within the limits of sterling silver. So the specific gravity test also says it's quite likely that this is actually silver. The only way we can get any further is more intrusive tests, like the scratch test, the scratch and acid test, and I don't know if I want to do that at this point. Not really. I could take it to a coin dealer, my favorite coin dealer, and have them look at the piece for me, but they would have to scratch it and use acid in order to be 100% sure. They have an XRF machine which scans it and tells you the chemical composition, but I don't think that it's going to be able to be useful in this situation, because this piece, if it is plated, it's going to be thick. Too thick for the XRF machine to really do its job there. So I went ahead and took a look at that hallmark with the reverse images on Google. You can do like a reverse image search on Google and figure out information, and it went to sterling marking of an Asian variety. So I didn't want to mention this earlier because I didn't want to spoil the results of what I did. What we did today. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this video and take some of the things that I said with a grain of salt. Because, again, when I do look at silver or silver plate, and it's a mystery piece, there's not really any one surefire method of determining something is silver without taking a file and ruining it, or taking a sample and burning it and doing an assay. There's really not a surefire 100% method. You can look at silver, you can see how it feels, how it reacts to certain things, how it sounds, the glow it puts off sometimes, the tarnish, whether or not it shows signs of damage in ways that silver is going to do more likely than plate. But you're just making a very educated guess at that point. Again, without very intrusive methodology. If somebody could say that they 100% know that something is silver, take it with a grain of salt. That's all I'm trying to say to you guys. Good luck and good hunting out there. Good marks, goods out.